Hey guys, Ted Bogert with the TED Show. I'm back. I am with an author. You're going to love his story. It's motivating and inspiring. And this is Sekou Writes. We're going to talk about, I did it. We're going to talk about his book, Hack Your Pain. We're going to talk about where that came from, his journey. I know that you're going to be inspired. Welcome, Sekou. How are you today?
Thanks for having me, Ted. I really appreciate it.
I'm excited, and shout out to the one and only Fee King for introducing us and doing such a good job of. She's just an amazing proponent of people. She loves helping people, and especially people with a mission and with a journey and a story like you. So before we get into the book and we get into what happened to inspire you to write the book, give us a little bit of background on Sekou.
Well, I feel like I have to start over because who I am, who I was before July 14th, before I had the stroke, is a very different person than who I am since the stroke. And I have found so many differences that I have started referring to him, like as a third person. Yeah, it's become really, really factual. And so not only do I act different, but my memories are different because I suffered amnesia when I first went through my stroke. And so that flattening of the surface is incredible because you see the amnesia portrayed on TV, right? You know, these
yes, you see it on all the good TV shows.
Yes, right? You see it, but they have not consulted with me, right? They're not, because I've experienced it. And let me tell you that what was interesting is that everything was flat and even and not there's no anger. There's no anger. Like everything was even keel. And so I woke up in this hospital and I was like, oh, my arm doesn't work. But there was no angst about it. I was like, oh, my arm doesn't work. And I can't imagine that now that I've grown out of it a little bit. But the difference between knowing something and having a relationship to it was really challenging for me. So I say all that to say that me telling you about myself really starts with the post-stroke me. And
the new you. All right, tell us, because I didn't. We haven't posted the bio, which we will. Tell us, you brought up a stroke. That's it. That's a life-changing, sometimes life-ending experience. So you're young. Tell us about everything leading up to that you know, and what happened.
Yeah. So I was running what's called a run streak. What that means is you commit to running a mile every day. And so you commit to that for X amount of days. And so what I did for June, so this was, June, a few Junes ago, I committed to running a mile a day for the 30 days of June. And so I was going to have 30 miles, right? But I ended up with 62 miles instead of 30 miles. And I was like, how did this happen? How did I get more miles? And then someone invited me to give my money away. Let me rephrase. He pledged me money to give away. And so I connected with a program that works with the unhoused. And so I gave them my money. And so that connected me and connected me and connected me and connected me. And so that original goal of 30 days, 30 miles ended up being 409 days. 409 days, yes. And on the 409th day, everything was normal. Everything was normal. Everything felt fine. I've reviewed the footage often because I used to record a run streak, a run report where I would just put my cell phone up and I'd say, hey, this is what happened today. And I've watched 409. I've watched it endlessly looking for something, but there were no hints of anything. But later that day, I was helping the students at Fisk University graduate. So that's Nashville, Tennessee, and we had these children that we were teaching how to lead, right? And I was scheduled to speak, you know. And then I felt myself slipping. And I felt hands on my back, and then that's it. Like what I remember of that event was very quick, right? I was there speaking for everybody, speaking for your children. You get your children, we're doing so many things for your children, and then I couldn't think, I couldn't process, I couldn't move. And I was falling back, and someone was holding me up. And I remember being held up by some stranger's hands, and then that was it. And then for all these months later, there were these little snippets of time where I recognized something that I was supposed to recognize, but I didn't. Like my mom came to see me, and I recognized her as a friendly spirit, but I didn't know that she was my mom because my amnesia was that strong. Like I didn't know that my best friend who come by to help me out because we were running together, I didn't know him. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything. And so it's been really hard for me to deal with. But I will say that coming up on July 13th, 14th is really my birthday to me. Even though this is my birthday month, you know, my birthday was just a couple days ago. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. But my real birthday is July 14th because that's the day that I lost everything and got everything back at the same time.
What a beautiful way to frame that, because I think a lot of people in your situation would be bitter, angry. I mean, I would think you'd be thankful coming out, but I've had a lot of people that I know who are stroke survivors, and they are changed, and sometimes it's not for the better.
Yes.
Sometimes it is for the worse, and they miss that old person, and that old person, like you said, is completely gone. I mean, you have snippets of it and remember it, but it doesn't mean that's you anymore. It's not you.
Yeah.
I love how you the first person to ever describe yourself as that. You refer to that person as him or a different entity, a different person, because in reality, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah. And the effort to become who you were becomes a very charged energy. Everybody's trying to get you to become who you were. And so it was difficult for me to separate the push to become who I was and let myself become a new person. That was hard. And now that I've done it, I feel different. I feel lighter almost. I feel more open, more free. So Fee will tell you, she said, Fee and I have known each other for decades, right? And she talked about how open I was. And I was like, wasn't I always this way? She's like, no, you were not. You were not open this way. And so I've been much more open in terms of everything now than I was then, you know?
It's amazing that journey. And I'm very glad that you shared that you've looked back at footage and you have nothing leading up would have led you to believe that you would be having this massive major stroke and to have experienced what you've experienced, but you took this, right? You have a very gentle spirit. Like I can tell you're open, definitely open is how I would describe it. And so you took this though, and you wrote a book. So let's talk about Hack Your Pain. Because I want to know what hack is. And I think a lot of people would like to hack their pain and they would be better for it, or at least more evolved for it. So talk about your journey on that with that.
Now listen to this, Ted. You're going to you're going to be surprised by the answer. So Hack Your Pain Now is a book that I wrote years before any of this ever happened. Years before my stroke, years before the pandemic. I wrote it kind of during the pandemic-ish, right? But mind you, I had amnesia. I was like, oh, this is my mom's house. Okay, this is the house that I grew up in. Okay, like I was discovering things around me, and I found the stack of paper. I was like, what's this? And I looked at it, and it took me a long time to read. Now that was a scary moment. That was a scary moment because I am an author, I am a writer, I am a journalist. So not being able to read, that took me out. That took me out. So I've been working at it, and so I feel like I'm about 85% now in terms of reading. But anyway, I read this stack of paper, and I was like, huh, this author seems to be speaking to me. And then it was like, hey, this author seems to be me. Oh, this author is me. And I realized that what I had written was to cure me. Like it's as if that my past me was like, oh, I know what's going to happen with Sekou. Let me prepare this for the future. Like when things go dark for him, let me prepare this for the future, because it was so good. It was so. I don't mean that in a selfless way. I mean, like, it was good because there were these 10 universal thoughts about how to get yourself back up, and how to fight the things that are impinging on you. And so I thought that now was the best time to put it out because it was helpful to me. It was helpful to me. And if it was helpful to me, it's got to be helpful to someone else. Because right now, my brain is still fuzzy. Like, I could not edit this. I could not write a book right now, unfortunately. But I added one word. I added now. Hack your pain now. Just make it immediate. And I feel that it can help somebody, and it will help somebody. So right now we're doing a pre-order for the month of June, my birthday month, the month of June, and everybody will be zipped the book on the same day, which is July 1st. Everyone will get the book on the same day, and we'll get to see how these people react. And I don't know if the book is finished. I don't know if it's finished. Like, I put it out there based on what I found before, and I don't know if it's finished. I don't know if it was a rough draft. I don't know, but I put it out there because I felt like now is better than perfect.
And I want to ask you, knowing what you know about the old you, the other person that people have told you, are you surprised that that person was able to write this book?
Good question. I feel like I was not surprised, but I was surprised that I was hiding it. Like, I was hiding it. Like, I found this, again, I found a stack of papers, but I saw no interest in me actually publishing it.
Interesting.
Like I was holding on to it, and I was holding on to it for painful reasons. And that's been very interesting because even though I'm talking about this pain, this great emotional pain that I'm going through, that I'm trying to work myself through, I don't have any connection to the pain anymore. Like, I recognize that he was going through pain, but I'm just like, oh, he was going through this breakup. Oh, he was going through this thing, the other thing. But I have no emotional connection to it. It's like, for me, it's like watching a movie. And so the things that made him reluctant to publish a book are like, hey, let's just get it now. Like, let's just get it out there and put it out there for someone else to benefit from.
So if somebody's listening, and obviously I want people to go to SekouWrites.com, and we'll have all the links in the comments and the body of the post. You should be able to see all of that so that you can get your copy. What's a hack that you can share with someone? What is something that you can give us a little insight in, and maybe not just a teaser, but, you know, there's a lot of people who could use this advice that you're going to give and share with the world. What's one little piece of something you could share?
Yeah. So one piece was smile. And it's a piece that is overshadowed. Like, you don't think about it. But when you're in a bad place, because ultimately, not initially when I first woke up, when I first became aware I had amnesia, but as I became aware of the things that I lost, the differences in my mind, the way my mind works, and all of those things that make it hard for me to continue to do what I'm trying to do. Like, you know, there are days when it's just like, oh man. And so the art of smiling is an art. And so what I wrote in the book, what he wrote in the book, is that you can take a pen and put it in your mouth sideways. And that physical act charges your muscles and charges your mind with the whatever feelings, whatever the things, the emotional things,
yes,
come to fill your brain, because it feels that you're smiling. And so just smiling for 1 minute, just a little bit, will bring your body's spirits up. And just knowing that was very, very helpful to me, because there have been times, I mean, let me just give you an example really quickly. So yesterday, this book, I was trying to get this book finished, this Hack Your Pain book, Hack Your Pain Now book done. And I couldn't find the button to collapse my words into the text, right? And I couldn't find it. I could find forever the other books. So I know I've done it. I've done it because I've done it at least 2 other times, right? I couldn't find them. And so I had to call a neighbor and I was like, can we meet and talk? And she found it in 5 minutes. And I was like, oh,
wow.
And you know, so that kind of thing, I have to remember to smile. I have to remember to smile and be cheerful about the fact that I'm still alive, about the fact that I survived this, about all the things that there are to be grateful for. Smile.
Perfect. All right. I want you all to go out and get Sekou's book. I want you to get the pre-order done. Sekou Writes. You can also tell them if there's another link. Well, we've got most of the links, but we'll make sure that gets out to everybody, because I feel like there's a lot of people who are in pain and have absolutely no idea how to begin, because the pain is overwhelming. And so they don't know how to even take the first step, because there's so much to overcome. So I love the title of this book. I love this story. One of the reasons why I don't dive deep before I do an interview is because of this. You're a prime example of that. I didn't know that story. I knew nothing. And I'm just shocked and moved and motivated and inspired by your words and your journey. And I know that a lot of other people will be too. Well, all right, Sekou, tell them one more time what's the best way they can find you, get the book, all that good stuff, social media, anywhere that you are. Okay, so SekouWrites.com is my website. That's the best way to reach me. SekouWrites.com. And it's at Sekou Writes on all the social medias, at Sekou Writes on all the social medias. And the book, just go straight to Amazon and just type it in, Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. And it'll come right up and you can order the book. And so the trick is, it's good at a cheaper price until the end of June, and then it kicks up in price in July. So make sure you grab your book today, this month. Get your book. It's 28th of June. What a blessing to have you on. Again, shout out to Fee. She certainly knows a beautiful journey when she sees it. What a blessing. And I would love to invite you to come back after a month or so that you've sold the book and been talking about the book and getting people's feedback on how it's changed their lives. I think that follow-up story would be even more motivational for people. Thank you for taking time out. You all go to SekouWrites.com or go to Hack Your Pain Now on Amazon to get your pre-order before the end of June. Thank you, Sekou. Thanks, everybody. If you're in pain, please reach out, get some help, do anything that you can. You've got to take that first leap. Smile is a great one. I love that. But get your Hack Your Pain Now on Amazon. Thanks, Sekou.